All right, this is homework 1.3. Questions 17 through 19. Okay? 17 through 19. And 17 is saying a vertical stretch by a factor of 8. So what's happening there? Right? What's happening? The f of x is being multiplied by 8. Right? So this is f of x is multiplied by 8. Well, what is f of x? Do we know what f of x is? Okay? So we look at this function. I see that it goes through 0, so b is 0, right? What's m? What's the slope? Well, I know it goes up 1 and over 4, right? You see that? It goes up 1 and over 4. So that means that m is rise over run. 1/4. Yeah? So the f of x, in this case, is 1/4 x. Okay, what am I going to do to f of x? What did I say I'm going to do? I'm going to multiply it by 8. What's 8 times a fourth? 2, right? 1/4 of 8 is 2.
That's 8.
8. 8 times f of x. 1/4 of 8 is 2. Yeah? So g of x is now equal to 2x. Okay? You know that this, my writing is really bad with this. Let's see here. It just doesn't want to pull up off the board. It just keeps writing. But my g of x is 2x, right? Okay? And so how would I graph 2x? Well, up 2 over 1. And it still goes through 0, so this is my new graph. That's my new g of x. Am I recording? Yeah, good. All right, and it's just that simple. Okay? So, remember, it should look like I pulled on it. I stretched it vertically. It should look like I grabbed this piece, and I kind of went like this with it. And does it look like that? Right? It looks like I grabbed both ends and I stretched it vertically. Okay? All right? So, number 19. Number 19 is write a function to represent the cost of one horse rider to travel in miles with a score of sheep. Score of sheep is 6 cents. It says over here, score of sheep is 6 cents, right? And what transformation describes the change in the cost of the sheep were replaced by cattle? So historic tolls for traveling on the Cumberland Road in Pennsylvania are shown in the sign. Tolls were paid every 15 miles. Okay? So, so write a function to represent the cost for one horse and rider to travel in miles with a score of sheep. So a score of sheep and every horse and rider, okay, is 4 cents, right? So we have the horse and rider. We have in miles. So these two add up to be how much? 6 cents and 4 cents. Very good. 10 cents. Really? I know it's Monday, but come on, people. 10 cents. Okay? Not asking a lot here. 4 plus 6. Okay? So, it's going to cost us to do that every 15 miles. Okay? So, if there's in miles, right? And how many times, what would we divide that total miles by? 15. Because it's every 15 miles. So it's going to be divided by 15, right? And then we're multiplying that by 10 cents, right? So point times 0.1, right? Okay? So a function that represents a horse and rider travel n miles with a score of sheep. What's the transformation? Describes the changes in the cost if the sheep were replaced by cattle. Okay? So this is f of x, right? This is with the score of sheep, right? But what if we change the sheep, we changed it to cattle? Well, cattle is 12 cents, right? We still have to do the rider, correct? That's 4 cents. So these two are going to add to, what's 12 and 4? 16 cents, right? Or 16 cents, however you want to look at it. So we put it as 0.1 here, so we could put it as 0.16 here, right? And the only thing that changed was that, right? Our multiplier. Correct? Everything else stays the same. It's still going to be n over 15, right? Because it's per 15 miles. Okay? And that's our g of x. So what happened? What kind of transformation was that? Was that a shifting? Was that a translation? Right? Was that a shift? Right? Or was that a stretch? Or was that a compression? What's the difference between stretch and compression? They're both multiplying, right? Well, one multiplies by a factor of more than 1, right? And the other one is a factor of less than 1. Could I have written this as 10 and 16? Yes. If I wrote this as 10 cents and 16 cents, right, then it would be a stretch. Does that make sense? But since I wrote it as 10 cents or a tenth of a dollar, right, and a 16th of a dollar, then it would no longer be a stretch, it would be a compression. Do the graphs change? No, they're the same. That's the point here. Is this could have just as well been f of x is equal to n over 15 times 10. Okay? Whereas this would have been g of x is equal to n over 15 times 16. Okay? And the difference is, this is a stretch, and this is a compression. So you have to kind of know. Does that make sense? Compression multiplying by less than 1. A stretch multiplying by greater than 1. Okay?